What's up, America and the rest of the world? This is Earl Jones, the host of the Earl Jones Show. On this channel, all we do is talk about insurance, business. I have other guests that come on the show. Like, we talk about a lot of stuff, right? But it's pretty much all around insurance. At some point, we'll start talking about mortgages, business, all that good stuff, right? We don't want to be limited to just one topic. Why? Because life is limitless, right? Life. But on this topic today, here's what I want you to do. I want you to tag anybody, share with anybody that you know that owns a 2 to 4 family flat, right? And they live in the unit. They live on the property like it's their primary address and they live there, right? Tag them, tag them, share, invite them, get them to watch this video, because I just literally spent 3-4 hours on the phone with underwriting with different companies, insurance companies, trying to figure out how to help a client that has a duplex, lives in one side, rents out the other. And oh, yes, child, yes, indeed. So let me just get to the point because this is important, right? Number one, a standard homeowner's insurance, which is what they currently have right now, does not, probably will not, more than likely won't, ain't going to do, just won't do, right? Cover tenant, landlord lawsuits. Because once you turn that property into a cash flow, into like, you're collecting rent, right? Then that's business, right? That property is now a business, and your standard homeowner's insurance policy is not designed for business. That's number one. Number two, you'll probably discover once you call your company and be like, hey, does my policy cover loss of tenant rent? And they'll probably go, what are you talking about? The answer to that question is probably not, ain't going to, maybe just won't. Right? So, for example, let's say, heaven forbid, a fire breaks out on the tenant side, right? It's due to no fault of the tenant, and the tenant has to move out, and you're charging that tenant $2,000 a month. Your standard homeowner's policy will not cover the loss of rent from that side of the building. It ain't happening. More than likely, it ain't happening. It won't happen. It's kind of like, when it's kind of like, yeah, when it just ain't happening, right? It's just not happening. That's number two thing that you guys need to check. The third thing that you need to check is like, what happens if the tenant accident, does cause damage to the property? More than likely, it ain't happening. Why? Because that's not the policy's design, right? Number four, let's say there's a theft in that unit and you just bought brand new washer, dryer, appliances, you just put them in and they're stolen. You ain't got nothing coming. I said it, you ain't got nothing coming. I used incorrect English to stress that out. Under your standard homeowner's policy, you will probably more than likely not have, highly probable likely that you won't. The probable almost certain future for anybody that's ever done the landmark forum is that your policy, your standard homeowner's policy, will not replace those appliances. Why? Because that policy is designed for a traditional home that was designed to live in by one family, right? That's what that is. So for you to have the right type of policy, you're basically looking at some type of a hybrid landlord homeowners policy, and there's not that many companies that will write it, right? And the ones that do write it, they write it, and you just need to find that one. And the company that you're currently with will probably want to convert your policy over to a landlord policy. Hey, a landlord policy is better than a standard homeowner's policy when you are renting out units in your plex, right? Because it's going to give you the widest amount of coverage. It's going to take care of lawsuits. It's going to take care of loss of rents. It's going to give you the widest amount of coverage, right? So it's really imperative that you protect that investment. Just because it says homeowners does not mean it's the right homeowner's insurance, right? And I know some of you are thinking, well, Earl, that policy that you're talking about getting is more expensive. Absolutely. But is it more expensive compared to the amount of money you spent on that Plex you bought? Nope. So if that $300,000 Plex that you bought goes up in flames because of a kitchen fire caused by your tenant, right? I cannot look you in the face with absolute certainty and say that your standard homeowner's insurance policy is going to cover that. cannot. Or that tenant decides to, sue you because you're in the process of evicting them and they're coming up with some, landlord tenant violation excuse. I just had a landlord get sued for more than, $250,000 over, landlord tenant violations, right? And the company that he was with before he became my client, he had a standard homeowner policy on that property. They denied the claim. They denied the claim and would not defend him in that lawsuit for for $250,000+. Would not. The company that I wrote him with, right, did, and we settled with the plaintiff, right, and we protected the client, right, and we just made it go away. That's the difference, people. Big difference. The insurance must always fit the circumstances or the situation that you are in. And as your circumstances and situation changes, the insurance must change to keep up with it. Because I'm telling you all, like, I cannot stress it enough. All right, so if you're in California and you do find out that your company that you're currently with cannot help you with your situation that you're in, then my information is listed below, right? If you're in a different state and you need help, please reach out to your agent, or I can refer you an agent, right? But if you own a Plex, or you know a person that owns a Plex, the whole 9 yards, please let's make sure that we get them the right type of coverage for their property, because they have put their lives on their life savings or their life on the line for that property, and they're dependent upon that for income generation. And so we gotta make sure, right? And this video is specifically for people that live in the Plex, right? This is not the standard landlord policy that we're talking about, okay? All right, take care. Bye.